Bitcoin on an exchange is Bitcoin you don't own. The phrase sounds dramatic until you read the FTX customer list, or Mt. Gox, or Quadriga, or any of the dozen exchanges that froze withdrawals in 2022. The lesson isn't to pick a better exchange. Exchange custody is borrowed time, and your job as an investor is to know when to leave. This video walks through 3 custody thresholds that determine when to move and how custody choices affect the drawdown psychology you'll face. Start with the mechanic. When Bitcoin sits on an exchange, the exchange holds the keys. You hold an IOU, a database entry showing your account balance. The Bitcoin itself is in the exchange's custody, pooled with other customers' Bitcoin, in wallets controlled by exchange employees and exchange security systems. This is fine until it isn't. Counterparty risk. Withdrawal freezes for maintenance that becomes permanent. Jurisdictional disputes that lock your access for years. Internal fraud. External breaches. Regulatory seizure of customer funds. Every exchange you use is a fine until it isn't bet. Here is the pattern across every failure. Mt. Gox in 2014, withdrawals slow, then stop. Quadriga in 2019, CEO dies, keys vanish. Celsius and Voyager in 2022, withdrawals frozen, never reopened. FTX weeks later. The exchange everyone said was different. The pattern is identical. Things look fine, then they don't. The window between fine and frozen is measured in hours, not weeks. By the time the public knows there is a problem, they can't access their Bitcoin. Every exchange survives, until it doesn't. The ones who lost everything weren't worried until 5 minutes before. 3 thresholds decide when to move Bitcoin off the exchange. $1,000. Below this, exchange custody is reasonable for active trading or DCA accumulation. Above $1,000, get a hardware wallet, Ledger, Trezor, Tangem, or Keystone 3 Pro. The point isn't which brand. The keys move from the exchange's database to your physical device. $30,000. Above this size, a hardware wallet alone isn't enough. The seed phrase needs metal backup. Fireproof, waterproof, time-resistant. Paper degrades. Phone screenshots leak. Engraved metal lasts a lifetime. $200,000. Above this, single signature custody starts looking concentrated. One device fails, one seed phrase compromised, and the position is gone. Multi-signature setups distribute the risk. 2 of 3 signatures required, keys held in different locations, no single point of failure. Multi-sig isn't for everyone. It is harder to set up. Inheritance planning becomes complex. Recovery requires more than one device. But for a position large enough that losing it would matter for retirement, the operational complexity is worth the resilience. Your custody should match your position, not your opinion of yourself. 3 drawdown profiles define what 2026 Bitcoin actually looks like. Macro-driven drawdown, 30 to 40% over weeks to months, triggered by Federal Reserve policy shifts or risk-off rotation in broader markets. This is the most common type. Most years see at least one. ETF flow reversal drawdown, 40 to 60% over months, triggered when institutional flows reverse direction. The post-ETF Bitcoin moves with institutional money, not against it. When pensions and treasuries reduce exposure, Bitcoin compresses fast. Crisis drawdown, 60% or more over weeks. Geopolitical event, exchange collapse, regulatory shock. Rare but defining. Custody choices interact with all 3 profiles the same way. Bitcoin on an exchange during a 60% drawdown is 2 anxieties at once. The price is collapsing, and you're not sure your exchange will survive what's driving it. The withdrawal queue grows. The platform's tone changes. Temporary maintenance notices appear. Bitcoin in self-custody during the same drawdown is 1 anxiety. Just the price. The investor with self-custody panics about price. The investor with exchange custody panics about price plus access. Same drawdown. Twice the cognitive load. Twice the risk of selling at the bottom. Custody isn't paranoia. It's the threshold you cross before you panic. 3 things. Bitcoin on an exchange is Bitcoin you don't own. Long enough always means too long. 3 thresholds decide when to move. 1,000 to a hardware wallet, 30,000 to a metal backup, and 200,000 to a multi-signature. And custody choices change how drawdowns feel. Fewer anxieties, fewer panic decisions. Full Bitcoin investing framework on the Channel Hub video. Link in the description below. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Custody isn't paranoia, it's a threshold.